is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're brought out by the #1 overall pick in this year's draft, the Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Rodgers going to go on fourth down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And this Browns defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's third down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Get 300!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Get 300! Get 300! Hey, check 26! Zoom.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They run, Montgomery, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Hey, check 26.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone! Let's go!
And for Mayfield, this could be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Mayfield underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-all is the score as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Get reset. Hey, easy going. Like a team. You're done.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Jump out. Let's go. Hey, check 26. Good job.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, He's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Let's go, come on. All right. Zoom. Jumbo! Hey, check 26. Zoom.
To throw on second down. Rodgers. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
On first down, Rodgers. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Let's go. Zoom.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. Looking to pick up some steam, generate some steam right now. Down on the scoreboard and struggling a bit.
And sometimes you have to find it from places you don't ordinarily get it. Not necessarily just going back and throwing the football. Maybe use your legs a little bit. Maybe rely on some teammates, get the ball in their hands. Anything to try and generate a spark. But bottom line, he has to play a lot better.
Yeah, he does. He's got the 2 INTs and the 1 touchdown pass so far. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays. Run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is and what the defender does.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Again, it's Johnson. Oh, fighting off the defender. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down.
Here we go now. Green.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Caught right side, Davis. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. The Browns send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Rodgers. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Zone.
Now Rodgers to throw on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And this is going to be Packer football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's really a matter of what you...
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
The play,
and if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. The Browns on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Timeout defense.
Now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will be down by a member of the kicking team at about the 40-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Rodgers now to throw on 2nd down. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Derek Kindred there to get a hand on that one. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moving away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. Throwing is Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Bears who have the lead. The Bears looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. The Vikings seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. In our game, it's been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead at Lambeau as we send you back up to Green Bay and rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey. No.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Pretty move. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Get reset. Hey,
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to float this one. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Spinning away. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Jake Ryan. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. 12 yards is the pickup there. And they're going to face a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of routing, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So that'll back him up 5. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll go on the ground. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Let's go.
action. Rodgers. And will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it down to the 32. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they don't have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's Rodgers looking to throw on second down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. In for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite level production.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It was Duke Dawson on the tackle, the 2nd-round pick in 2018.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Packers get set to go. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Looking deep. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that will extend this big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
319!
Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
2nd down, Mayfield. And fights through one man, sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go! Green 39!
From the gun, Mayfield. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Jake Ryan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Hut! Hut!
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Flex round! Flex round! Alert! Check! Hut! Hut!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hut! Hut!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Hut!
They're going to look to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Hut!
Back to throw now on first down. Going for it all. Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers continue to roll. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And now running right through it. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Mayfield now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
People worry about... throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Here we go.
A first down throw from Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Here's Mayfield. It's brought in by Davis over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Mayfield. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns able to get this one back to within at least some measure of respectability. Zerline connects on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. This one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate.
And Owen coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this is going to be Packer football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
To throw, Mayfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Zerline good with a PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Zerline out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.